Welcome. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, all. Hope you're all having a fabulous, fabulous day so far. Hope you're all staying warm because it's freaking cold here. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be letting up till the weekend. It's like minus 26, and this is in Celsius. This isn't in Fahrenheit, so I have no idea. But I think anything below minus 10, even below zero, is just ridiculous. It's redonkulous. Um, we can get moisture in different ways, I guess, for the soil. But I know the farmers need it. I know. Hello, Charlene. Hello, Dwayne. I hope you guys are all having a fabulous, fabulous day. Welcome to Crazy Hair Day. Let it do what it has to do. Yeah, there we go. Get it out of my face. Um, it's just one of those craziness, like crazy. I mean, it's like one thing about being plus 30. So when anything gets into the plus 30s and higher, which would be anywhere in the higher 80s to 90 degrees and higher, a lot of times it's like, oh, that's so hot. I don't mind that heat as long as I'm on a beach. Like, being from the Okanagan Valley, which is in BC, and the Okanagan Valley is basically nicknamed the Hawaii of Canada because of the lakes and the beaches, and it's very beautiful, pristine. It has the vineyards, the wineries, the fruit trees. You could grow anything there. Um, yeah, we would get very hot. 45 would get like really, really hot. That's another ridiculous thing. But when it got up to 40, at least you could go to the beach, and then just sort of cool off and go in the shade. Um, and yes, you do have to have air conditioning. Hello, Erica. Long time no hear, my love. So the weather is one thing. The weather does influence us. So if you think about the weather and how it influences us, think about the astrological weather because that's what it does. It influences you. It influences how you may be feeling. It influences your nervous system, your dream state, the thoughts sometimes that you receive, the anxiousness, anxiety, the overwhelmness, and sometimes the feelings of go ahead, let's get going, let's do this, the hurriedness, wanting to get things done, getting creative. That's also that's part of what the astrology does. It has an influence onto our energies and how we move and how we shake things up. Now, I know early this morning we had like a Mercury and Saturn sextile. Sextiles are good. When the planets are having sex, it's good. So with Mercury making, this last link to a teacher planet, well, that's what Saturn is. And today and tomorrow. So we have to pay attention to things that we are hearing or otherwise receive the information, particularly within our dreams. So if you've been having, as I say this week and even last week, if you've been having crazy dreams, information that's coming in, keeping a dream journal, because then you can start to pick out, oh, okay, this I can see, the different parts of the dream. Because sometimes your whole dream may not make any freaking sense whatsoever, right? So it might be like, oh, but there's this and this, but there could be things about water coming in, the cool water, or there could be things about, oh, but the sky was so blue, or the house felt so warm, or the house felt cold, or, things like that. So you'll get clues of information coming through that way. Not necessarily, sometimes it's the people that are there, or animals that come in. I've been having a lot of craziness with animals coming in my dreams. Uh, so that's been quite interesting. So and especially if it's not a familiar thing that you have within your dreams. Like I don't usually dream of animals coming in my dream. I've had my elephant totem for the longest time. He is my foot totem. Hasn't changed. Sometimes people's totems change. But I've been having the bear come in a lot, the bear energy. Now, bear energy is very healing. Um, if you work with anything to do with the bear has, a lot of healing properties to it, and especially what they eat. The bear root or bear berry, when the bears come out, that's what they're looking for because they have to regurgitate everything. So they've been sleeping for so long and get like their digestion going and get things moving, right? And so they look for this root, and it's related to the parsley family. Um, and looking for the bear berries or the bear root, and they dig it up. And so it's a very healing herb. So the natives have used it for many, many centuries. I know that the bear has a lot of healing properties to it. So bringing in the bear energy. So the bear energy has this healing energy that's coming in, and knowing that it has this substance. So paying attention to your dreams. They're instructing, illuminating, and they, game changing, even with information that's coming in. And I know for me, it's been like a lot coming in this morning and things I've been thinking about and wondering about. So I'm just sort of have to just sit and just sort of ponder about it and allow. Now Venus is coming into Sag, is in Sag, I should say, but she's trining over to Eris, which is good. She's there with Ceres, which is really nice. It's very mothering, very loving, and with Eris coming forth. So this is about fire. Like Eris is very fiery, and of course Venus is in fire. So about speaking truth, taking a stand, setting boundaries, harnessing your power. So especially when you're dealing with a lot of fire energy. So you may be hearing a lot about activism today, pulling back the veil to reveal more truths and make it work for creativity, passionately and expressively. So when we see this energy coming in, so there's a lot of passion of energy coming in. So you may be feeling very passionate about it, or you might be seeing or hearing more things about having passion, people coming out being very, being that activist on something and bringing that information to you and hearing about it. So you'll, this is sort of like it's going to last throughout the day and tomorrow, but Sirius is there. Sirius is bringing in sort of a mothering, like, wanting to bring in a calmness to it, and not to get, the justice card coming in. So that's the vision I got. So the justice card coming in, and as the justice card comes in, it's like weighing things out. Yeah, you have a decision, or you're moving in a certain way, but you want to have a balance with it, right? You want to be able to receive the information that you have, but not to be able to be a bully about it. That's the whole thing, right? And not to be a full bully about, of pushing your weight upon somebody, because that's what they should believe. They should believe this, right? You know, like my dog, I should believe her that, you know, poor Kiefer from upstairs is shoveling the walk, and I should be warned about him. Um, and so these are the kinds of things that, for the energies that are coming forward. Now, Eris, I kind of like Eris because she is a goddess of discord and craziness, and she brings that discord in, but she's got kind of a very yucky side to her, because she loves to go through the battlefields and drag her axe through the battlefield, after the battle with blood dripping off of her. That part I'm not too keen on, but her energy, her passion that she has for the underdog and how the underdog is being represented. And that brings me to Davos. Oh, Cynthia, I'm feeling a lot better. Still, snotty and stuff like that, but I'm feeling better. Not as bad as what Eddie had it. Eddie has been so sick. He's been down and out. We've been going there delivering soup and pop to him. And he doesn't want to have any, I don't think, yeah, he didn't want anything else. He didn't want Tylenol or anything like that. He says no, he just would rather just sleep in bed and sweat it out. So that's what he's been doing. So good on him. Good on him. What a good boy. At least something of mine has rubbed off on some of these children. Anyways, Davos. So here we have these people in a fishbowl. You know, I have a, where they really want to take us back to the kings and queens of old and the landowners and to the time of Serbs, and really want to push this way of being, right? And you can hear it. I mean, the report is out. I've watched it on a few channels. If you want to go, I can give you the channels that it's on, and listening to some of with the report of what they devise, and the changes that they want to bring into the world, right? um they do talk in circles, and that's the thing. It's like, um Neil Oliver, and I posted his link onto my Facebook page. He talked about them being like a cat in a bag, that you're carrying this cat through the airport. It's like you have to have the cat in a bag, because if the cat gets out, it's just way too much. It's just too much energy. They can't take it. And that's the way these people are in Davos. They can't handle the everyday world. They can't handle being with people, like people that, that are not like them. They are not they're not ready. I really, you're seeing the uprising in Germany, and Germany's getting a lot better backing than what our poor truckers, who are going through hell in court cases and all that kind of fucking bullshit right now, which is another ridiculous thing. But it's where you're seeing that more people are rising up, right? They're really coming to the forefront. That's that Eris, and here comes that Venus, because she comes with the values. She comes with the partnerships and the things that she wants to bring forth. She's also, the ruler of Libra, so that justice. She wants to come forth with the justice as well, and wants to come in with the fairness. She brings Eris down a little bit and says, come on, I understand that you weren't invited to the wedding, but that's in the past. Let's move forward, girl, and let's try and make some changes here. And that's where we want to do. We want to make these changes. We want to move forward, and it's fiery and it's passion and coming in. I mean, we're going to be seeing. I'm waiting for England to uprise. I'm just Ireland's on Ireland's right there, especially with the law that they just passed about passing memes, and if they're harmful in that, and that a policeman can come up and you have to hand them your phone so they could check the memes on your, if they suspect that you've been sending any harassing memes to people. So hence the memes I've been sending to some people, I hope they're not harassing. I think they're just funny. But who knows? Some people might find them harassing. But anyways, that's the thing. So it's to reveal more truth. And in Davos, they can't handle the truth. They can't handle it because it's more of the information is being spread. Yeah, they've been around since the 70s, but they haven't had as much exposure as what they have now. And eyes being on them, and the things they say, and being taken apart. This is like some podcaster here in Canada who's up in Inuvik or wherever he is. I watched him the other day, taking the whole report apart and going through it and explaining it. It was just hilarious. But they're not expecting things like that. They're not expecting you to really pay any attention to this. So this is making it to work with creatively and passionately and expressively. As Pallas Athena, here comes Athena and Scorpio, she quincunxes over to Eris. So of discord and chaos. And so this is where, Athena comes in. And interesting, they're both in Mars ruled signs, Scorpio and Aries, right? Aries, Mars rules both these signs, which can make passion, anger, and ego and energy flare up. So we have a lot of fire that's coming in, information that's coming in. So the overwhelmness you might be feeling, oh my God, I have to make a decision. What is the decision I need to make? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? What about this? What about, there's a lot there, baby. and bringing in those energies, especially when you have Scorpio come in. Now, Scorpio is playing a big role right now, just at where some of the energies are coming in, and how the light is being portrayed and how the light is being seen or not seen. And this is where it's like really testing us on our passion, on our strength, on our durability, and our discernment on the directions of where we need to be going as humans, as humanity, as creative beings. And it feels like, and as I'm going, like, I just feel like there's a lot of rays coming in, a lot of like sparkly rays coming in, and really kind of penetrating your energies to have you awaken, have you see what is happening within this. And yeah, your ego might flare up, so we got to watch out. But this is, when it comes to political, like Pallas is political, she there may be things in the news that are related to the government and war and get inflamed. And especially with her being in Scorpio, I mean, any hidden truths coming up that are shocking and throw us for a loop. So there's a lot of this information that's coming in, and the war stuff is just going to be in your face. It's going to be everywhere. More of a push to that. There's a twist that's coming in. I keep on hearing or something about a shot heard around the world. So something there is going to some changes are going to come in there, and how that's being played out. And it's interesting, just as my little brain is going through here, and just it's just so interesting how things are being played out. Now, it was explained to me the other day, and I was just like, oh, that makes so much sense, is that about being what was it? Oh my God, no. Think about it, man. And there's, I think, was it Palestinian? No, maybe it was that. Not an Israeli. No, it must have been a Palestinian. And how that, just because you say Palestinian doesn't mean that you're Muslim, because the word or the meaning of the Palestinian is having a broader sense, because anybody can join their cause and then they're called a Palestinian. That's the Palestinian cause. So it's not just about, with Muslims. It's being grouped in to many different groups that are coming in. And that's going to be a part of the craziness that's going to be unfolding. And people, that's why it's very difficult, like, you to not take a stand. It's like you gotta weigh the information out and see it out. So as he was explaining it to me, he says the Palestinian, because he goes, because we have the LGBTQ plus community. You also have the Marxist and the communist coming in with the Palestinian marches and that. And anytime you see them set up, they're there. They're there. You see somebody with green or blue hair with the LGBTQ plus community. You see people, and I'm just, no offense, but that's just what you see. Also, it's like, when it comes to the Marxist groups and the communist groups, you're seeing more and more of them coming in with the Palestinian groups and things like that are coming in. So it's quite interesting. So that's, part of this energy that is being revealed. More information is being revealed about this, and people have to, just sort of take a stand and sort of like, okay, what does this all mean? What is it? Why are all these groups together? What is going on here? And we can go back to Davos. They love this because it's causing confusion and division, and people, choosing a side. choosing some, wanting to come in. So this is where you got to watch your ego. Why is your ego getting so upset? What are you getting upset about? And some things that I see in that, of course, my passion, my little Scorpio energy, my Mars comes in and just like, "Row." And this is where you really have to say, okay, why am I getting so angry? Like there's an anger that comes in with this. And I just like have to take a step back and say, whew, okay, Eris, calm the fuck down, girl, because she's just rising up in me. Because you could feel that it's like you want to go fight for the underdog. It's like you want to go scream in their face. But the thing is, you can't. It's not going to do anything. Screaming in somebody else's face is not going to do. It's not going to change them. It's not going to change. But your energy, your attitude, and how you present yourself, how you show up, is how it changes. And that's where the practice comes in. That's where the practice comes in. That's where we start to rise above. That's where you start to connect with the people. That's where you see, like the people up in Germany, their connection. Yeah, they're angry. Yes, they're angry. They have to be angry. The anger is a drive. The anger is a drive of connection and bringing other people together for a cause that is saying, you know what, we got to unite. This is bullshit, and we're not going to take the bullshit. This is what women did in 1927 when women were put onto the Canadian Constitution or the change that we are no longer property and thought of as flora and fauna. That women are human, like women are actually human beings. Go figure. But it had to be written into law in 1927. Those women had to get angry. They had to cause a ruckus, to raise up the energy, to raise up the vibration. So yes, there's a way of using this energy in a very positive way in order to raise up, to show that, you know what, you're an idiot and you're an idiot. This isn't getting us anywhere. This is just going to cause more of a clash. This is just giving power to those who want the power, right? It's funny, but it's like, but they're scared of it too, because they're not, they don't have what it takes to keep it. That's the thing. That's the weirdness about this. They don't have what it takes to keep it. I'm going to go on a weird tangent here. If you think about the royal family and how long they've been in power and the changes that has happened in the royal family, right? We're going to start with Henry VIII because he was a Tudor. And before him, his father and his grandfather and his great grandfather and the War of the Roses and everything else, for him. But it stood. I mean, even after I think they killed Charles the First, and then they brought back Charles the Second, and then, now we got Charles the Third in power. So there's this fact that it's been there. Like there's this stamina, there's this energy that however they keep it, they keep it. We can go into some crazy things about that, but they know how to work it. They know how to work it. They know how to continue it on. Those, I believe, and it just this now I'm going into that energy, don't have it. They have the wanting, the feasting on things that should not be feasted upon, the feasting on the less and the downtrodden, and they are not, they're not, I don't know how to explain it, but that energy is it's very dark. It's very deep. Yeah, I know the royal family is kind of dark too, but there's a difference there. It's just a different way of doing and dealing with how they present themselves and how they continue on doing what they do. Plus they earn billions of dollars for the for the country as well by just being and selling their shit, right? So I feel like there's just a difference there, in that energy. And that pertains to the astrology as well. I feel it's just almost where, a lot of the hidden truths, are going to be coming out and coming to light. And through many different little holes in that. And that's going to also come to when the conjunction of the sun and Pluto, and then making it into Aquarius, is really going to bring forth more reveals that are going to come out at this time. So it's just interesting how things are going to unveil itself. The other thing I just want to bring up that I find extraordinary, just gonna go on. Archaeologists found an extraordinary pyramid that apparently is 27,000 years old. I don't know if you guys have read this, but one of the scientists argued that the structure can't be that ancient and that humans couldn't have built it, which is really interesting. It's supposed to be the oldest in the world, at 4,700 years old, which is the Egyptian period for Egyptians pyramid, is 4,700 years old. So this pyramid in Indonesia that they have discovered is still unveiling, and it's quite interesting, and it's quite a marvel, that's for sure, of what they are unveiling with all of this. And they did carbon testing with that. So, it's the telltale signs of human activity, such as charcoal and bone fragments, but there's no reason to believe that there was any sort of large settlement in existence during that time, especially in Indonesia. But hey, I think, that's the other thing, is that that's part of Pluto going into Aquarius, where they're going to find these crazy discoveries, right? Of human origins. How far back do humans go, and what is the origins of human, and what is a human? It is so a lot more of that we're going to be seeing over the next several years, and it's going to be unfolding over time. So I just had to throw that in because I just thought that was just so cool, with the information that's coming in. So, it's interesting because anytime anything happens that is trying to squash people down, and especially with all these timelines that are formulating all at once, especially as we're building up to this weekend and going up into Sunday and going through this huge portal, that we are finding that this discovery of our humanity, of our strength, of our durability, and our endurance that we as humans can have and stand for. And I feel so much is being pushed upon us to really awaken us so that we aren't so dormant anymore and so docile and just sort of like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. It's this resurgence of a spirit, a spark that is within us, that is igniting. That's where the anger comes in. That's where all the fire is coming in, the passion, the sparking, this igniting is coming in, getting us to sort of shake us up, with it all. And so that we don't just stand by and being placid and just saying, oh, okay, that sounds good. Oh, okay, that sounds good. It's like those carbon neutral areas, like they're in London, that they're still taking the cameras down. They're still taking the star. They can't catch these guys. They're taking the cameras down every time they put one up. They take it down. It gets taken down. Signs get taken down. So there's different warriors that are out there that are really saying, no, we're not going for this. We're making a fight. As much as they want us to be in 15-minute cities, it's there's going to be such a breakdown with it all. You know, I think it's funny that our councilman in Calgary here they passed their raise. I thought that was hilarious. Like, oh well, yeah, we deserve a raise, and yeah, so we passed it because we're just doing such a great job. Really? Go drive around Calgary today. I wouldn't say you're doing a fucking good job. I think you guys are doing shitty job, really, with a lot of things. So, there's a lot more that I think that they could be doing with the surplus of money that they do have, right? I wish I could pass myself a raise. Yeah, I think, you know what, Cynthia? I think you and I should get together. We're going to form our own council and raise, I don't know, we'll go around and tell people that they're going to owe us money because they're in our energy field. And they have to pay us money because they're in our energy field. And then we are going to raise that so that we can have a raise. Hence. So I think she gave herself an energy tax. Yes. Cynthia and I are going to impose an energy tax on people now. If anybody else would like to be within our energy and would like to form this, because it's the two of us, we can have a few witches in here, and that will just form this energy tax, and that we will tax people who come within our field. Yeah, because I mean, the homeowners right now, they just tax the homeowners, and now they just gave themselves a freaking raise. I don't know. I think that's just joint council. You would be good at that. You would be good. That would be something I think you'd be extremely good at. You're a homeowner, you're invested, you are a first generation. That's a pull for you too. You're a woman of color. That would be awesome too. A business owner. There you go. You would be all votes for Cynthia. Say aye. Aye. Aye, aye, aye. I think that would be interesting. And you would earn, I think, what does the councilman earn? A councilman earns a good, I think, 100,000. I don't know how much our mayor is, like $200,000 to $300,000 a year for our mayor. Plus, she gets to go on expense trips. She gets to go places, and we pay for it. And she doesn't, I think she flies either business or first class. So she flies pretty good. Maybe she should take a Boeing. I didn't say that. More than that, more than 200K per year. Yeah. Like I don't even see, this is where change has to come in, because it's a change that is needed. Like, I don't even think that they work enough to be able to earn that amount of money. Honestly, I don't think so. But that's my father was a politician for the longest time, but he quit because he couldn't handle because there's too many dishonest people in the party, and he does not like to hold lies and deceit and underhandedness. So he ended up quitting. Plus, it was making him so sick for the amount of shit that the people were doing and underhandedness and dealings that they were doing. Plus, I mean, the councilmen and stuff, I mean, in any city, this is, they make deals. They make deals for whatever else. I mean, our mayor made a deal with some kind of contractors and stuff like that, and made some money off of these contractors. So, like any level of politicians, this is why I just feel like the whole fucking thing needs to be scrapped. And, here comes errors. Whole fucking thing needs to be scrapped. And let's just start at ground zero, because that's where we need to start going. That's where the small communities, that's where the connections are going to be coming in. I was talking to Charlene earlier, and how Rogers right now wants to become the, take over basically everything to do when it comes to, I was wrong. I just Googled it. um, oh, $120,755 for a counselor per year. And they just still good, but they just got a raise. They just got a raise to that. So, I mean, $120,000, I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. Plus they get expenses and all that kind of shit with that on top of that. So, easy, I could put that easy to be 200,000 a year for the shit that they get. So, and that's just in Calgary. Could you imagine what they get in Vancouver or Toronto? Well, New York is falling. New York's just fucked. Or even out, some of the bigger cities and stuff. But this is where it's, we're coming back to, as years ago I used to say, it's the grassroots. It's the connection of the grassroots. Now going back to Rogers, and Rogers wanting to be the monopolizing all of the internet and everything else, because they want to have their own, it's where, if it's where if you don't have your own self-hosting, like I can't build a computer. I'm not a computer wizard to build computers. Probably if somebody took me a step by step on how to do it and put things together and shit like that, I could probably do it. But if you're unable to do that, you're going to find, like, especially places like Rogers is going to want to have their own self, and I spoke a little bit about this yesterday, self-hosting internet service. So you're going to find it. And in order for you to be able to link to something else or link to another one, say you're doing business in Europe. So they're going to have their kind of web and to link into that. And then you're going to have one like Starlink. Starlink is one kind of to watch. I'm not an Elon Musk fan, but just watching, the things that they are trying to monopolize on is not only the space like SpaceX, but the Starlink, and it's funny because it's called Star and the link, and the stars linking together, and we're all stars because we have stardust in us. Anyways, coming in, and I feel like he wants to be the overall hub of the earth, right? And everything is going to have to link through him. That's my thought. I might be wrong. Who knows? But that's just a thought, that's come through. It's like that connection and wanting to have, because he has he has more satellites up there than Rogers. He has more cells, cell towers around that are connected than anybody else in the world right now. And he's American based, and the internet is American based, where everything has to go through. So, interesting world that is going to be unveiled for us over the next several years. It's kind of exciting, though. I don't know. I'm just like, what else could happen? Let's pull a card. Let's see what we have here. Oh, my favorite card in the whole wide world. Not the Hangman. Why isn't it my favorite? Because he always gets you to sit back. Like, it's just like, sit back, take a look, ponder on it for a while. And you're like, I'm tired of pondering on this bullshit. I want some action. I want things done. I want to get, it's like getting a different perspective. Okay, I got it. Now let's move forward. It's about meditate on a personal hopes and dreams. When one door opens, another one closes, right? Cynthia's my little boo boo. We don't like Hangman. So this is where this could indicate that you have been making countless sacrifices without experiencing a proper payoff, which might temporarily delay the progress you made or you had hoped for. So this is where, are you being pressured onto an uncomfortable path? Pause to mull it over. Ooh, because it was reversed, right? Ooh, mull it over. Okay, I'm mulling it over because I have to. For me personally, I got to email them and say, hey, I'll start next week. But I'm kind of mulling it over because it's like, do I really, it's like, is it really worth me going back to work? I know it sounds horrible. It sounds horrible. I mean, yes, I was sick this week, but it's like you think about, is it worth the time and energy to go all the way to the other, well, it's at the other end of town from where I am, to go there. Beautiful people that work there, that's for sure. They're wonderful. But is it really advantageous, for 2 days a week? Although I don't want anything more because I don't want it to interfere with me being here and doing my spiritual love of life work, right? Which I get, more of a calling to, but it's also having, here it is, with the marketing, learning to market better, to get to get over that bridge, to get to the people and get to the people that have money in their wallets. So mulling it over. So what are the options at this time? Here it comes. And let's just throw a hoop. So as you mull it over and you're trying to figure it out, if you're feeling as though, you're in a state of limbo, look at the joy. What brings you joy, right? What brings you joy? Yeah, but you're a practical thinking person, Cynthia. I know, I agree with you, Cynthia, but you're just you are practicality and I'm unpracticality. That's the even though I have Cancer moon and a Cancer rising, but I got that Scorpio sun and I got 90% of energy in Scorpio in the 5th house, which is, here I am. I'm going to shine. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to do it. But here it is. What brings to the happy family? What brings to the happy family, right? What is that happiness that you want to have, right? So as you're getting a new perspective over it, is the Cancer, the differences between Cancer and yeah, oh yeah, huge. Even though we're both water signs, but Cancer is rushing water. We're going to go out there, we're going to make it happen because I want the support and I want the family. I want to make sure everything's fine. My Cancer is in the 1st house. How does that look on me? What does that feel like to me, right? And my 5th house is Scorpio, so my Scorpio is in Leo house. My 1st house, my Cancer is in Aries house, which is very fiery. Want to start something, want to get going with something, and how that makes me feel and how does that support me? It might support me for just a snap. It might support me for just this, right? And the Scorpio, and especially with all this energy, like, I mean, I think I have 10 different aspects in my Scorpio sign in the 5th house, which, makes it very like heavy. And here I am, and the Scorpio wants to get out, but the Scorpio is very still waters, right? Still waters. We're fixed. We don't want to move or do something different than what we don't want to do. And we have boundaries, a lot of boundaries. So we don't put up those boundaries. But yet being in the 5th house means it has to be heart-centered. If it's not heart-centered, if it's not feeling from the heart, which is Leo, here I am. Look at me. I'm a Leo. I got beautiful hair, right? If it's not that heart-centered for what I need to do, then it's like almost where it's difficult to make that choice, even though it's been presented to you, right? So that's the thing. So this is what is like, it's wants to bring in great happiness. So we have this sign that's saying great happiness. So look at what wants to bring you great happiness, so that you take a new perspective of things, you take a look at things and seeing how that it's going, what's going to lead you to the happiness, the harmony, the spiritual growth. What's going to lead you to that place, right? And what are the values? So these are coming in and asking you what the values are. What are the values of the things that you want to do? Now this came in reversed. It's reversed. It's when he's upright. What are the values for you, right? And doing what you're going to do. What does that look like and what does that feel? And what are the cosmic ties? And with that, we have, wow, the 9 of Wands. But when I picked it up, I went like this and I The Nine of Wands is reversed. So there's something that isn't giving you your full passion, isn't giving you the full oomph. Yeah, there's work and everything that you've done, and you've done this work for a while, but something's not giving it to you. It's not sustainable. You want the stability. This is, when it's those moments in life when things feel outright overwhelming due to responsibilities and limitations. So the vote goes to Cynthia, right? So this is where it's like the self-expression, the freedom. There's a pressure, that the boundaries surrounding a sense of freedom and self-expression manifest in lower vibrations. So resentment, jealousy, fear, all of these come in with it because you're getting a new perspective. You want to bring forth those values of the family and stuff, but it's a good time to work on spiritual health, on your mind, on your body, on your spirit, because you want to have those in balance. And if you're not creating the abundance that you would like to create, all of those things can be thrown off. If you don't have that money coming in to pay the bills, well, your mind is going on, oh, fuck, I got to pay the bills. I got to do this. I got to do that. So having that flow, having that abundance is important. And the overall thing is that the choices, but being very careful on the choices. The Seven of Cups is not an easy one. Seven of Cups is there's a lot of deception because your emotions can overtake you and you just, I'm just going to go do this, right? It's like someone making the wrong choice, when Saturn and Pluto are together, make the wrong, well, if you really want to go sell drugs in there, okay, here you go. It's a quick money. No, I'm not selling drugs. But what I'm saying is like, it can get you to go and do things that aren't in alignment with what your values are. And that's what you got to look at. What is that really in alignment with your values, or is it just a quick fix for something? Is this something that you want to continue on? Probably not. Average, what is it that how things feel for you? Because the Seven of Cups is all about emotion, right? It's all water. It's all water coming in and emotion. And when the Seven of Cups comes in, this is where you could get daydreaming and thinking and overwhelming and feeling overwhelmed of the options and consequently cannot make a clear decision because it's just like, oh, that's too much. So that's why this comes in and says, okay, you got to take a step back. And this trumps everything else because this is a major arcana. So major arcanas always trump anything else in the deck, right? So if you got a major arcana and the rest are just minor arcanas, the suits, right? Then you got to look at what this one is and how it aligns with the other cards. So this is aligning and saying that you do have to sort of take a step back. Yeah, it's saying things are overwhelming. I might feel that way. Eris doesn't help the matter as her energy is coming in and very fiery. And same with Pallas Athena. And it's quincunx. Quincunx is a picnic table set in the middle, and you're just not too sure what's coming in. You're not too sure. You can't really make it clear of everything that's on the table and what to do with it. So it's like almost where, and it's like Mars, and it's like, well, you got to take action. You got to take action. Got to take action. And you're like, well, you know what? Maybe I'll take the action, but I'm going to do it and I'll step into it. But I'm going to step into it in a way that feels more in alignment with my flow. More in a way that brings forth the peace and the tranquility and the harmony that you would need in your life. So this is where it's like really sitting on the meditation pillow and saying, which way is going to lead me to my highest good? And how am I going to step into that highest good? And really trust that the divine will always trust in the divine. That's a big one. It's trusting in the divine. Trusting that the divine is going to provide, because you could go and you can do all of these things, but it's looking at the trust and feeling stuck in a situation you can't get out of. It is important to let go of the judgment or expectations. So you got to let go. Whew, and say, okay, God, goddess, source, divine, universe, which way leads me to my highest? And that's going to help to direct you and get you out of the daydreaming. Because with that Piscean energy and Neptune near the end of with Pisces and Saturn being there, it can really throw some dizziness and craziness and unexpected twists and turns in there for you. So be kind to yourself in all that you do and say and be. And if you're wanting a coaching session or a psychic reading, which is to me basically almost the same thing, book in, let me know. All right. And so may the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all you say and all you be and all you do. Have a blessed one, everybody. And we will talk to you all possibly tomorrow. And tomorrow's Friday, right? Interesting. So maybe tomorrow we will connect and we will have happy hour tomorrow. Not in the morning. Not having happy hour in the morning, but we could have happy hour in the evening tomorrow and then get together tomorrow evening and have happy hour. So if anybody's into happy hour, we can have happy hour and just talk about bullshit, but we're not doing day drinking. We're doing happy hour drinking. Although day drinking might be the happy hour. depending where you are on that spectrum of life. All right. So everyone, have a blessed one, and we will talk to you all soon. And let's go with the duck. We're gonna go with the duck. That's what we're gonna do. Bye-bye, all. See you all. Have a blessed one.